morning. This is August, and we almost have the September calendar done. Thank you, Josie. My goodness. I know. Well, see, I was going to not say that, so everyone was going to be so impressed. Actually, the drumming circle is right on here, on the August one. Isn't it the second week? There's a third. Oh, okay. Daryl.
Yes.
Drumming circle this month, third Tuesday? Okay, third Tuesday. Okay, third Tuesday. All right. Mind Shifters, Jan's having a write your own book this afternoon. And a little bit light this week on stuff going on at the church, but hey, it's summertime. People are on vacation, having fun, having barbecues. What a deal. Husbands who are in the doghouse may not know it, but this expression goes back to the days of the African slave trade. Profits in this evil business were great, but so was the danger. The slave trader was constantly worried about the possibility that the captors would break their chains and kill their captors. Many of the Yankee sailors slept on deck, closing and locking the hatches at night.
Sorry.
Some sort of shelter was needed. So many of the sailors covered the poop deck with tiny sleeping cubicles. I'll hold still. The small size suggested the name doghouse. Even the officers frequently had to sleep in them. They were so uncomfortable that in the doghouse soon assumed its present meaning. So, wow. We'll just try that so far. Washington was the first president under the Constitution of 1789, but he was actually America's 8th president. Think about that. Before the Constitution was ratified, a new country had been formed on March 1st, 1781, with the adoption of the Articles of Confederation. 7 men served as president under those articles. You probably knew that, didn't you?
Yeah, Daryl told me.
Oh, okay. See, they're teachers. They know everything. Yep. Things that make you go, From 112 BC, an object in possession seldom retains the same charm that it had in pursuit. Still true today. And another one from the 1st century BC, anyone can hold the helm when the sea is calm. The applause of a single human being is of great consequence. And may you have a lawsuit in which you know you are right. It's a gypsy curse. I just had to say that one. So, we do have a couple patron saints, George Carlin and John Lennon. And John said, when the power of love overcomes the love of power, then the world will be at peace. Sounds like a simple thing to do. George, the reason I talk to myself is because I'm the only one whose answers I accept. I like that one. And this was cute, all kinds of little comics here. But picture of two dogs looking at each other, and the one dog is like, just happy and dirty, and the other one's going, I don't know. And the caption is, and there's a rose bush in the back that don't look so hot. Sometimes you got to just stop and dig up the roses. Okay. From Camille, age 10. What is the right age to get married? 23. It's the best age because you know that person forever by then. We have our church picnic. Is it the first or the second?
First Sunday.
It's actually the first Sunday of the month. Yeah, Healing Sunday. Sunday, September 7th, so not Labor Day, because Labor Day is the week before that, but the first Sunday in September, at Columbia Point, because we like that place. We've had it a lot of other places over the years, but that's really kind of a nice place right near the water, and got plenty of room to drum, and right next to the bathrooms, and so, yeah, all kinds of really important stuff. It's another police story. It was the end of the day when I parked my police van in front of the station. As I gathered my equipment, my canine partner, Jake, was barking, and I saw a little boy staring at me. "Is that a dog you got back there?" he asked. "It sure is," I replied. Puzzled, the boy looked at me and then looked back towards the back of the van. Finally, he said, "What'd he do?" He dug up the roses. The only reason I said this is because the people on YouTube would not have heard that one otherwise. So, dug up the roses. Okay, the Italian secret to a long marriage. St. Peter's Catholic Church in Toronto, they have weekly husbands' marriage seminars. At the session last week, the priest asked Giuseppe, who said he was approaching his 50th wedding anniversary, to take a few minutes and share some of the insight he had on how he managed to stay married to the same woman all these years. Giuseppe replied to the assembled husbands, "Well, I've tried to treat her nicer, spend the money on her, but best of all is I took her to Italy for our 25th anniversary." The priest responded, "Giuseppe, you are an amazing inspiration to all the husbands here. Please tell us what you're planning on doing with your 50th anniversary." And Giuseppe replied, "I'm going to pick her up." Yep, that would do it. That would do it. I did notice I saw, do what? True. It's true. Yeah, that's my marriage counseling would be the Italian way. So. All right, let's sing a song. You know what? I even kind of sort of remember who it's Josh Groban, and it's "You Raise Me Up."
If you are willing to assist with that, would you please sign up? Josie's wanting to get the information for the September calendar. And if you have signed up, would you put your phone number there so she does a quick reminder? How wonderful is that? Do you want to pass that around?
We back on, Shannon? Huh? Okay. Hello, YouTube. Hey, you know what? If you've been to the church a while, or if you watch us on YouTube, one thing I will guarantee, if you pay attention to what people say, your life will be maybe better. It might be more profitable. It will definitely be more spiritual. And just plain happier. And oh, by the way, if you're followers of the way, it's even a bonus. So you actually hear about the Bible. What a deal that.
Without the guilt.
Without the guilt. Without the guilt. We from time to time have guest speakers. Today's not one of those. So here's Janice. She is, but she isn't.
I'm not on. Phil's filing system, don't you just love it? If you're really careful, it'll just stay where it's meant to be. Oh, I got a couple of fun things I want to share with you first, before we do. As some of you know, I'm psychic. Hi. Hi, I'm psychic. Sounds like an AA group. Anyway, I was sitting around and meditating, and this word came through. I don't know what it meant. Sometimes that happens. And I thought, well, I'm gonna have to ask Phil what that means when he gets home. I'm sure it's some sort of structure. I don't know why it made me think that, but it must have been. So when Phil got home, word was gone. Have no idea. For about a week, I was like, what was that word? What was that word? Never think. So finally, I was meditating another day, and the word came back through. And you're gonna laugh. I'm sure you're gonna laugh, because I didn't know what the word was, but you probably do. Spanakopita. So I thought, well, this has to be a structure. Because a span is a structure, and a cupola is the thing that goes on the top of a roof. So it has to be some sort of a structure. So I had to look it up. I had to die laughing because it's not. It's a Greek spinach pie. And it's spanakopita, not kopita.
It's all Greek to me.
It's all Greek to me. So it was like this random word just flew by. And I had to laugh. I thought that was funnier than heck. So I don't spend a whole lot of time on connecting with people that I don't know, because obviously this was somebody from the other side making contact. Because see, here's what happens. If it's not for me, Phil and I don't eat wheat, so it wasn't like, you might want to try spanakopita. So it wasn't for us, necessarily. So I figured it was for somebody else. And I thought, well, I'm not going to spend too much time on that, because I don't know who. Because what happens here is this. If you're meditating or you're praying or you're speaking kindly to someone, or you're being generous with your time, your energy, your money, or you're having gratitude in your heart, you're light beings. And people that are on the other side go, oh, look, there's a light. Let's see who's home. And they'll come by, because I know some of you have had this weird words show up, and you go, oh my gosh, I'm freaking out, there's a weird word, I didn't say it, it didn't come from me. It just happens, don't worry about it. It's just a natural phenomenon. My 7-year-old granddaughter, we were at lunch, and she said, this word, just keep hearing this stupid word over and over and over. I said, well, honey, just tell him to stop. You have a right to tell him to stop. She said, just a minute. Okay. Oh, it's gone. So you have a right to tell them just to stop. If it's a message for you, that's fine. And then a few minutes later, Phil was talking about something that he was doing in his life, and the word that was in her head that she couldn't get rid of was what he was talking about. So her little psychic awareness was tuning in. So whether it's somebody from the other side connecting in, or you're just tuning into somebody's energy and you're getting words, doesn't matter. Don't freak out about it. If it happens often enough, you get over yourself about that. Anyway, so I asked Spanakopita, if they had a message, because I don't know if it's for you or somebody on YouTube, whatever. So I thought, well, I'll at least deliver the message. It seems to be a male person, and they seem to have like a way of saying, I'm really good. It's like, if you ask Phil how he is, he'll say, I'm peachy. Ask me how I am, oh, wait, cool. So this person had like their own special way of saying they were really, really good. And what they kind of gave me, there may be a term for it, but I don't know what the term is, where you have a poker hand and there's 4 aces and a king. It just doesn't get any better than that. So it was like, is there a term for that? No. Winner. That's a winner. It's a winner. Aces high, I think.
Aces, king high.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, so if Spanakopita is for you, they are 4 aces and a king. They are that good. So anyway, there's your message from the other world. Just an aside. Had to deliver the message to get it on, because it was that insistent that it came back after a week. Okay, so earlier in this week, I was suffering from pain. Nobody likes pain. Well, I told you last week, but not good. Pain, pain, pain. Not fun. So I told Phil, we were having coffee, went to McDonald's, good coffee at McDonald's. We were having coffee, and I said, we need a process. A quick and easy process to reduce pain. Because, get my little stuff here. There's lots of things we can do to mitigate pain. Have you ever heard of the emotion code? It's an awesome technique. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Have you ever heard of Louise Hay's You Can Heal Your Life? Yeah. Because it tells you, oh, if you're experiencing this, there might be an emotional connection there, and here's something you might want to think about. Emotional freedom techniques. Heard of emotional freedom techniques? Tapping, EFT? Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. I hurt so bad I didn't want to do any of that stuff. It's like, we need a process to to get us to a place where we can actually look at the pain. Because here's the deal with pain. Pain is not evil. Pain is not a punishment. Pain is this experience that we have that helps us take a look and see if there's things that could be improved. It's kind of like anger. Anger's not bad. If we live in anger and seethe in anger, then it becomes destructive. But anger is that flashpoint that says, this is not okay with me. Then we get to look and say, well, why is that not okay with me? Am I just screwed up in my thinking, or somebody crossed a boundary? Or have I not placed a clear boundary? I get to look at that, and I get to process that, and I get to deal with that. Same thing with pain. Pain is this issue that reminds us, don't put your hand on a stove, it will hurt. If you bang your head on a wall, it's gonna hurt. So pain is this flashpoint saying, pay attention, pay attention. So pain is not evil in and of itself. It's not fun. Nobody likes it. But it's not evil, and it's not a punishment. So what is pain? What do we need to do with pain? Well, I have a theory of pain, and I'm not sure that you would share it with me, but I'm just going to fling it out there. Sometimes I think because we are one, we are all connected, that some of us experience pain more than others because we can bear it. And if I'm suffering, if I have pain, generalized pain in my body, and I'm working to do what I can to clear it, and that pain is somehow intensified and I haven't done anything different, that means to me that someone else in the world is suffering and they can't bear it. They can't bear it, but I can. And if I take that pain and I hold gratitude around it, that I'm strong enough and that somebody else's pain is eased because of that, my pain eases up. So you might want to try that. What we usually do is resist. Oh no, not pain. Let me take a pill for that. Let me do something else for that. Let me run away from that. And that's okay too. It's okay to, nobody likes pain. I'm not saying suffer. What I am saying though is when that suffering comes to you, have a moment where you can acknowledge that the pain just might be to save someone else, maybe a small child, from suffering. And if you can carry that pain, because you're never given more than you can bear, if you can carry that pain with gratitude and grace, then your pain will ease, and you're a blessing on lots of different levels. So that's one aspect of pain. Maybe you'd never heard that before. It's kind of a weird thought. Maybe it doesn't fit for you. You know, take what fits for you and get rid of the rest of it. So pain. Pain is the physical body's response to something going on. Sometimes our pain and injuries we bring to ourselves because we do stupid stuff. Oh, let me lift that. Maybe I shouldn't have. I remember I had a job, I hated it. I can't even tell you really why I hated it, but I hated it. I don't know, you know what the feeling. And I was fixing my hair one day, and I said, I would give my right arm to get out of this job. Oh, be careful what you say. Be careful what you say. I developed the worst case of tendonitis ever in my elbow. Couldn't pick up a fork. And that's bad. My world, that's bad. So, and as soon as I was able to get laid off from that job, which was wonderful, and then that was the crossroads turning point where it was like, okay, I can really do the psychic stuff, or I cannot. What am I going to do here? So I did both, did two things until one kind of took off. Guess which one? So sometimes we create pain because of the thoughts that we have in our head. And sometimes pain happens because we injure ourselves. Sometimes through no fault of our own. Things just happen. Unless, of course, there was some emotional attachment to that. If we can heal on physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual levels, all four, then healing can really take place. Let me tell you a story. There's this one little gal who had pain in her whole body. And a friend of mine and I did a 2.5-hour healing on her. She walked out of my office pain-free for the first time in years. And so we both encouraged her, you might want to take a bath, you might want to just relax, take it easy, watch a good movie. She didn't. She went to her son's football game, ran into her ex-husband. They got in a fist fight, and she spent the weekend in jail. And Monday morning, I got a call, I hurt so bad. So pain had been this buffer to keep her from acting on an impulse that she hadn't processed yet. So sometimes pain, it's already been back. We can just send it up here. Has it already been around? Okay, then we're done. Just whatever, it's good. So we healed her physical pain, but did nothing for mental, emotional, and spiritual. And so she reacted and responded and brought pain back to herself. Oh, heaven's sakes. That's not fun. That's not fun. But so we've got to find different levels and heal all those levels, and then the pain can truly be healed, be subsided, of course. Okay? But again, sometimes we have to get the pain level down enough so that we can process stuff. So anyway, this process came to me. I thought that was a really cool process. And it was like, I was sitting meditating. Spirit, God, we really need a process that can help us get the pain down so we can look at it. And so the process came through. And I tried it, and my pain level came down. And then I applied the emotion code and EFT and all those other things that I know to do, and really got beyond it. Took a couple of days. It was pretty intense pain. Got beyond it. But for those times that we can't get the energy to even look at what the cause might be, or what the emotional attachment is, or what the emotional structure is supporting that pain, we need to just take the edge off and have a process for that. So let's talk a little bit more about the pain itself again. When we have mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical aspects of pain, it's always there. There's always going to be 4 parts to it. So the physical could be an injury. Oh, pick that up. Shouldn't have. I was too heavy. Then there's the mental. What am I thinking about? What am I thinking about the pain? What am I thinking about all of this? Does that make sense? One moment. Takes a village. So, you couldn't do it, yes. Well, some things are just best left to grandma. So mentally, what am I thinking about? What is my mental process in that? Sometimes judgment is a mental process. I should do this, I should do that, I shouldn't do this, or I shouldn't do that. And sometimes those things that we are judging ourselves about or judging a situation about can affect our physical health. Then there's the emotional aspect. Sometimes I can see injuries that people experience. I see them visually. Like if somebody has a betrayal, I see it as a stab in the back, and you can actually see a knife sticking out of their back, and you can remove that and the pain goes away. So sometimes our figures of speech can create for us these energetic structures that that attach to us or connect with us emotionally. And then there's the spiritual aspect of that. The spiritual aspect is that this is all energy. And we're all energetically connected, and there's all this energy that we can work with. We can move and shift energy. And sometimes pain is caused by stuck energy. So when we can move energy, we do that spiritually through prayer, through gratitude, through healings from other people who have healing techniques. Those are wonderful. Spiritually speaking, pain is not, let's say it this way. God did not promise you pain-free life. Well, why am I suffering? Because you're human. We have a physical being that carts around our spirit, spiritual being, and that physical form is pretty fragile. Bones break, Injuries happen. And it's that physical form that carries the spiritual being around with us that can have physical problems. But the spiritual being can shine and be radiant no matter what. There are people in this room that suffer, that have tremendous pain. And they don't punish everybody else with their pain. They just bear it with grace. Beautifully. I honor and respect all of those people. Because I'm a whiner. Grace is, I'm working on that one. But let's face it, if it's easier to whine, I'm going to do it. It hurts. And then there's always the flailing of hands.
That makes it feel better, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. Have you ever done this? It feels just so much better. That's not a part of today's process. That's just something you might want to do for fun. For fun. Sorry. We got to get that fixed. Got to get that microphone thing fixed. Okay, so anyway, sorry. So let's look at the process, shall we? I'll walk you through it, and then I'll just walk you through it. I'm ready.